Today I have a quick project for you involving collage and scraps from my desk, and I'm using this card deck called Look Up, Look In from Mari Andrew as some guidance. Today I wanted to do a quick journal page for you, and I was trying to decide. I don't have always a lot of time when I start doing these things, and I was kind of like, ooh, so this could be a lesson about how to create a quick page in your journal when you have limited time, but you could also use this anytime. Cards from this deck that I pulled, the Look Up, Look In deck today, were fall, full moon, and fog. These all have little words of wisdom in the back. I'm just going to read you little excerpts. Consider ways to expand your routine without traveling anywhere, deepening your experience of home. Small tweaks to your habits can enrich and change your perspective over time. The full moon was, the moon is beautiful in all its phases, but seeing the moon in its full power is heart-stirring. It brightens the world in a different way than the sun, shining spotlight on trees and buildings and people to make them look like silhouettes. The sun gets all the glory, but the moon brings a specific type of light and beauty. We benefit from its uniqueness. Today, reflect on the unique gifts you bring to the world and how you can be the fullest version of yourself by sharing them with others. And the fall, during autumn, we witness the beauty of letting go. The English word fall is a poetic compliment to spring and invites us to settle down after an active summer. What are you surrendering to this season of your life? What do you have to let go of so you can fully surrender? These are all very interesting for me at where I am in life. I'm going to collage this page with some under papers. So I have this old dictionary page. I have some old painted on papers, more dictionary. I have a little pamphlet, and I have more of this kind of paper. So now I pulled these photos, and I'm actually going to cut these out of a crow, a full moon. It's fall, so I'm going for the pumpkins, more crows. I've cut my images out, so I have this full moon, some pumpkins, and this crow. I'm going to start by ripping pieces of these papers for a background. So I'm going to start there. And I'm going to take my catalyst wedge only because I couldn't find my smaller wedge. So I'm just going to start sticking these pieces down. Now you could do them so they line up. Right now you could see that buckling, and this is what I don't want to happen. So I probably need a little more glue on here. I'm actually going to lift this. You can't, oh, that I didn't want to have happen, because I don't want to stick my pages together. If I'm lucky, I have a piece of paper I can stick in there. Yikes, I got it everywhere. Okay, so this is a piece of deli paper that I've clearly just painted on so that does not happen. I just really want something down. I'm not looking for perfection. I just want the background to have something on it. Now at the end, I'll cut all this. So again, this is an exercise in when I don't have a lot of time and or maybe I don't know what I want to do, I do something like this. So this is a quick page idea to get something down on the page. So I wanted to make this look a little more spooky. I feel like it's a fall project, and I wanted to do something to kind of age the page, if you will. I have this, and it's this De La Roni FW ink, acrylic ink, and this is Payne's Gray. I wet my page a little bit. I don't want this to be totally dark, and that's exactly what it's going to be. I want to be able to see the crow on the page, so I'm probably going to take this baby wipe and wipe up some. So you can see it does have a bluish tinge to it. Let's get this here. I'm going to want this to dry. So when I hung the moon here, it was all blendy, and I'm not sure I want it like that. So I'm just going to add a little gesso to this, and I'm going to try this with a baby wipe just to get some white in here without making it too whitish. Another thing I like to use is a simple old credit card. I like the unevenness of it. I'm going to leave it like this. And I'm going to think about Anybody ever noticed, I'm sure this is a magnetic pole, but anybody ever noticed this belly button and the striations that come off it on the moon? I think that's pretty crazy. I'm going to probably stick that there. Now I had this crazy idea to stick the crow sitting on a pumpkin. I think I'm going to go with this. Got a piece of paper here so that I could glue better, and I'm going to use a glue stick for this part. Mostly because I don't want to deal with the paper lifting or buckling. Now these images came off of some stock photos off of Canva. Because you're using them in your journals, you're not selling your journals. If you plan on selling your journals, you shouldn't do it, but you can use the stock photos, and if you change them, all the better. So if you do some pen work in here afterwards, there's more I would like to do here, but for now, I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to call this a good collage. I like it. It's festive for the holidays. It is about the cards that I pulled before, which were fall. So I used the cards as my inspiration to decide what I wanted to make a little bit. I knew I was going to do a collage, so I used these cards to draw inspiration from what they said. So it was foggy, which I took to mean dark. This could be considered foggy. It was the full moon, which I found the full moon and I put it in the back. And it was fall, and there's a little pumpkin even there. And I knew I wanted the crow. The crow's been following me around for a while, and it feels very festive for this time of year for some reason to me. So this is how I use something like a deck of cards that I happen to have as inspiration, and that seems like a great page for today. Is it perfect? Is it the best art piece I've ever done? Absolutely not. And that's okay. Sometimes just getting the art made for the day, 5 minutes of art is better than nothing. So if you don't have the time, if you don't know what to do, this is how you deal with that. Okay, everybody, have a great week. I'll see you here next week.